My friend, we are less than a month away, finally, from our Marvel Day at Sea cruise on February 5th. Blake, the excitement that I, and hopefully you, currently have as we begin the final countdown is without measure. But I wanted to share some information, some updates, and possibly answer some of your questions as we get closer. Um, Obviously, it's 2022, and cruising, not just on Disney, but everywhere, is not quite exactly the way it was before. Not just in terms of what you need to get on board, but the embarkation process, as well as some of the things that are on board. And as normally happens, even more so this year, a lot of what we do and we have planned is very much determined by Disney for a lot of different reasons. So we wanted to share a couple of updates that we have recently received from Disney with you to address some of those things and then maybe answer any additional questions you might have. First things first. Hi, I'm Lou Mangello. Let's get right to dining. Don't worry, Cabanas is open. Have no fear. But in terms of dining, most, if not all of us, are going to be on first dining rotation. Because if you do that, you could do dinner and then a show, and then you could eat again later on. There's a method to my madness. Um, Dining potentially might be slightly different because it's going to be slightly socially distanced. We might not be able to have, according to Disney, a lot of large tables as we have in the past. Normally, we gather in and eat in the sort of the same area in all of the rotational dining locations. Sometimes, whether by design or by request, you may want to sit with another family or a group of friends. That might not necessarily be able to happen because of the required distancing that does have to happen inside the restaurant. So we do know, for example, that tables cannot exceed more than a certain number of people. So grouping multiple parties together is not going to be able to happen. Again, we're still working with Disney to accommodate all requests, keep us all together, and we may be taking over an entire dining room, but we will get there as we get there. Speaking of gatherings, again, the protocols are changing like on a daily, if not hourly basis, depending on what they are when we sail on the 5th. We also might not be able to have some large gatherings in public places and spaces as we have done before. We have a relatively large group for our Marvel Day at Sea cruise. Again, because of the protocols in place, because of the distancing, because of the unavailability or inaccessibility of certain venues, we may not be able to have some of the events that we have done in the past. Again, we are literally working with Disney as late as today to try and figure out what we can do and where we will accommodate, we will pivot, adjust, and shift. And I promise I had a couple of ideas today for things that we can do as a group that will still be in compliance with what we need to. Um, you might be having questions about what some of the things are that we may or may not be able to do, i.e., if you've been on the cruise with us in the past, pajama parties, using the kids' clubs. We're finding out answers to those questions, but I will tell you no matter what, bring your pajamas. And by pajamas, I mean G-rated, possibly themed Marvel pajamas that you would feel comfortable and other people would feel comfortable if you wore out into a public space. Um, yes, speaking of dressing, not just in pajamas, but yes, you can, and I recommend that you bring a costume. You can dress as your favorite Marvel character, your most obscure Marvel character. I'm going to see a Squirrel Girl eventually on one of these cruises. There's a lot to choose from. It is a lot of fun. Plus your experience up as much as you like. And who knows, maybe we'll even have, as I'm thinking, as I'm recording, maybe we'll even have some prizes for some of the best, unique, obscure, fun, funny, or whatever Marvel characters that we see. One thing I want you to keep in mind, no matter what changes, no matter how we have to adjust, I promise you, we are not only going to have an amazing time, not just because it's Disney Cruise Line, not just because it's Marvel Day at Sea, which, by the way, is my favorite of all the Disney cruises, other than Alaska, but that's a different story. So we're going to have a great time. We're also going to be able to do some things special and together as a WDW Radio community and family. A couple things that we cannot do that we have done in the past. Unfortunately, if you've cruised with us or cruised on Disney Cruise Line even in the past, one thing that we would love to do is have fish extenders. So outside of your stateroom door, there is a fish with just above your stateroom number that actually operates as a hook. What we've done in the past is we've had fish extenders, which are the sort of hanging pouches that allow you to leave notes, surprise gifts. We would have a fish extender exchange where you would sort of be matched up with another random member of the WDW Radio sailing party and sort of put in mystery exchange gifts. Unfortunately, fish extenders are not allowed, not just for a group, but throughout Disney Cruise Line. So while I don't think you're even allowed to hang your own fish extender out there, so unfortunately, we can't do that. We can't do that type of exchange. One thing that we can do and are going to do, though, is have a door decorating contest, which allows you to get creative and have fun and decorate your door however you would like. Marvel themed, WDW Radio themed, which is always helpful. The only thing that you're allowed to do to affix your door is via magnets. So whether you get sort of paper that has a magnetic back or use actual magnets or create magnets to put on your door, we will have a door decorating contest. We will share details about when you have to have your door decorated by, as well as when the judging will take place for that as well, and the valuable or not so valuable prizes that we will give away to the winners. Speaking of contests, we do have the logo contest results. And you're saying, wait a minute, Mongello, you never even posted the logos. You're right. There were so many, not just so many entries, but so many amazing entries, amazing intentional word, amazing Spider-Man, that we're going to do something a little bit different. We will have a winner, and I will post the winning logo here in the group. I'll also, and I know it's sort of, we're getting late, but I will post that logo on a t-shirt in our TeePublic store if you want to order a WDW Radio Marvel Day at Sea t-shirt. You can do that as well. But what we've decided to do is something creative and I think fun with the logo entries this year. Trust me, stay tuned. You will see when you get on board. Couple of last minute reminders. Don't forget, if you haven't done it already, don't just get your moving buddy. If you don't have one, get one. But 2, complete your online check-in. Make sure you have all of your passports and paperwork, everything else you need to get on board ready as soon as possible. If you have any questions, either about as the group as a whole, cruising on our Marvel Day at Sea cruise, or individual to you, your party, your stateroom dining, whatever it might be, you can post it here in the comments or reach out to your Mouse Fan travel agent. We will continue to post information and updates. I wanted to share this stuff via video so you just could hear it directly from me as we've been getting the information and updates to you. But more to come, I promise. And again, we are in the final countdown. I cannot wait to see you at Cabanas, get out of my way, and end on board, and for all the fun that I promise I know that we are going to have together. I will see you soon. Thank you. Love you. Excelsior.